Sonic's world is a very strange place. It consists of many different islands, but yet also futuristic cities at the same time. It's a mishmash of different ideas put together. So a big question some people have had is, what is the name of Sonic's planet? Now, you might not think that this is such a big deal, but oh boy, everything in the Sonic community is a big deal, including the name of which Sonic and all of our little friends reside on. So today we're going to go over the various different worlds and names for Sonic's world. Now, the reason people think that, Sonic's world must be a different place than Earth is because, look what's on it. There's anthropomorphic animals just running around, alongside some humans every couple of times, when Sega remembers they exist. So, is Sonic's world Earth? The answer? Yes. Sega has confirmed in the video games that the world that everyone inhabits is Earth. This is completely fine with me. I have zero problem with this. We've seen many different fantasy franchises and IPs and all that stuff, and they just take place on a different Earth, an Earth that operates on a different set of rules than our own. That is completely fine with me. And yeah, the video games, the canon timeline, it all takes place on Earth, where animals, anthropomorphic animals, and humans all live and coexist together. I believe it was a Tales 2 that did say the reason why they kind of don't intersect too much is that humans live in actual cities and stuff like that, but the anthropomorphic animals live on the islands, like South Island, West Side Island, stuff like that. So that's their way of kind of being this is why they don't really interact that much, but when they do, it's not a big deal. It's yeah, that's just the population, which is fine with me. I'm absolutely fine with this. That the canon timeline, it's just Earth, just a different Earth. Fair enough, that's fine with me. Thank you for clearing that up, Sega. However, there have been different names for this planet. There are various instances where the planet is not Earth. So let's go over them. The first one we're going to start with is one you might not remember, but that is Planet Freedom. This was the name of the world of the OVA. So the entire planet is split into two layers, the Land of the Sky and the Land of Darkness. The Land of Darkness is where Eggman lives. That's where he creates, that's his base. That's where he creates all those machines and all that. And then the Land of the Sky is the good place, where all of the humans and anthropomorphics all live there. There's also, it seems to be the case that in Planet Freedom there is humans with animal characteristics, like when you see Sarah, she's a cat girl, So that is Planet Freedom. It's an interesting idea, right? That it's split into two separate parts, the Land of the Sky, Land of Darkness. Land of Darkness is where Eggman lives. It is cool and nice. Now, Planet Freedom has not appeared since the OVA in really any capacity, bar one little appearance from Archie, where Planet Freedom was the name of Mobius, which we'll get to, in an altered timeline created by Chaos Knuckles. We actually recently talked about Chaos Knuckles in a previous video. However, its existence was brief, and history would be restored shortly after Planet Freedom came into being. So, in an alternate timeline, the Archie universe took place on Planet Freedom, but that timeline was since then reverted back to normal. So Planet Freedom just had a little cameo there, which is fine, and that's it. We've never really seen Planet Freedom since. But it's time for the big one. You all know Mobius. The name Mobius was for a long time the name of Sonic's planet, especially in the Western canon. There was a time in the early to mid 90s where every freaking version of Sonic had a different canon and lore, and it was all a mess. And during that time, a lot of places decided that Sonic's world was not Earth, it was Mobius. That was the name of it, to make it all unique and stuff like that. That was definitely the case for Sonic SatAM and Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. They all took place on Mobius. And of course, Archie, which was inspired by Sonic SatAM and took inspiration from it, also operated on Mobius. But the Archie version is much different. The Archie version of Mobius was revealed later on to be Earth. It's just Earth in the far future after, it's post-apocalyptic Earth, essentially. So, to give a brief backstory on this, there was an alien race known as the Zorda. They came to Earth and they offered an alliance with the humans. However, the emissary they dispatched was captured, studied, and dissected by a group of scientists led by Dr. Ivan Kintobar. When I get to the video about the Kintobars, it's gonna be crazy. Ivan had hoped to use the captured creature and his technology to produce the robot Isaac, who was pretty much, Isaac was going to be Gamma in the Archie comics, but they swapped at the last moment, so Isaac just looks like a gold Gamma. But that's Isaac. He's like, I guess you could say he's like the proto to the E100 series, right? So in retaliation for this, the Zorda bombarded the planet with gene bombs with the intention of exterminating all life on the planet, melting all surface life, whether it was plant, animal, or human, into primordial ooze. Before the destruction of the planet's biosphere, a number of hidden cities were constructed, safe from the effects of the gene bombs. This is how they explain when humans come back into play, especially when Sonic Adventure adaptation happened, that they have to go to Station Square with humans and all that. This is how they explain why some humans are still alive. They created hidden cities. The bombs had an unforeseen side effect, and thousands of years later, a new species, the Mobosaurs, rose from the primordial soup, becoming the first life to reclaim the planet. There is much more we could go into in the history of Mobius, but we're not going to. That's a story for another time. But basically, because of that gene bomb and all the radiation and all that ooze and stuff, eventually new life came to the planet in the form of the Mobians, which is what they call Sonic and his friends, which I prefer that term for them. Not anthropomorphic animals, it is Mobians. I like that name. It's a nice distinction. We have humans and Mobians. That works for me. But, that's Earth in this. That's Mobius. That is Mobius, just post-apocalyptic Earth. Mobius was also the name of Fleetway, where the Fleetway comics took place, though it was revealed that it is a separate planet from Earth, unlike Archie. So it is located in a small galaxy 11 million light years away from Earth, in a different time zone, with a region made up of dark matter. According to the spirit of the planet, which was known as the Ring of Eternity, Mobius is an important center point between dimensions. So yeah, in Fleetway, they just decided it's a different planet. Some humans come to Mobius, like Eggman, but it is a different planet, which is they're getting away of. So unlike Archie, which took the case that the reason there's anthropomorphic animals and all this crazy stuff going around in Mobius is because it's post-apocalyptic Earth in the future because of a gene bomb sent by aliens, Fleetway just decided it's just a different planet, and different planet, different species. I think that one might be a lot more easier to digest than post-apocalyptic Earth. And then we have the movies, the live-action movies, which take place on Earth. And they do a smart thing, which is Sonic is not from Earth. He's from a different planet, but he comes over to Earth, which is a nice little thing there. So there's a big distinction there, right? The movies take place on Earth, but Sonic and his friends are not from Earth. They're from a different planet. And this planet seems to be, it is called Mobius as well. In the novelization for the second Sonic movie, Knuckles called Sonic Child of Mobius. So that's just a fun little thing there. So it looks like that Sonic's world in the movies is called Mobius. Will this ever come up in the movies? Probably not. That's usually what novelizations are for. I see people wonder why movies to this day still have novelizations of them. It's because a lot of stuff that got cut from the movie that they wanted to keep, they could just put it in the novel. And sometimes the novel is like the definitive version, and some stuff gets lost in translation in the movie compared to the book. Like in Batman Begins, the novelization, it's like a huge time skip, is lost in the from the novel into the movie. Which is why novels, I think, are so good. They also have the bonus point of you can delve more into the person's inner thoughts, that maybe the movie didn't quite touch upon. So there is merit to having novelizations. And I still pick up novelizations of movies and stuff as well, because there is little hidden gems in there, And sometimes the best way is the novel and the movie combined is the correct version, So that is little thing there for the movies. And then Sonic X, of course, did the same thing, where Sonic and his friends are sent to Earth, which is how they do all the stuff with, Sonic Adventure and all that type of stuff. They explain that Eggman in Sonic X, the reason he is on Sonic's world is he was originally from Earth, but he just moved over. So they do the same thing. Sonic and his friends are from another planet. This planet is not named Mobius. It is never named. It's just their world. Even when they go back in season 3, I don't think they ever really drop a name for what it is. But whatever. So that is pretty much all the various names we've got of Sonic's world. What name is the preferred one? I actually don't mind either Mobius or Earth. I think both work, it just being Earth, but it operates on a different world. It's just a different set of Earth. I mean, Mario takes place on Earth and no one's questioning, right? Kirby probably takes place on Earth, but we don't question anything about that, right? It's just Earth, but just a different Earth. And I'm fine with that. But if people want to make it different and it's a different planet, Mobius, I'm fine with that too. I think both ideas have their own merit. I personally, though, out of all this, appreciate that the name for Sonic and his friends is not just anthropomorphic animals, it's Mobians, and I much prefer that as a name for their species, right? There's humans and Mobians, right? And then there's regular animals as well. That I prefer. I much prefer that. That naming. But yeah, I like both. I'm fine with the video games just being Earth, but Mobius can exist as, in the separate continuities as well. That is absolutely fine with me. But what do you guys think? What is your preferred name of Sonic's world? Do you prefer Earth? Do you prefer Mobius? Do you prefer Planet Freedom? Let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you all next time.